I'm going to give you the 5 steps to creating and delivering a compelling offer. Okay, let's make it happen. So the first step is you're going to define your offer. I'm going to explain what that means. All right, you have to be crystal clear about what you're giving your customer, what you're offering them. All right, if they, again, remember, a confused mind never buys. You have to make sure that, hey, if I am going to give them something, they need to understand that if I'm going to charge for that, what am I getting for this, right? So this is what it means. You have to describe what problem does your offer solve. Whatever your offer is, whatever your product is, whatever your service is, whether it's a software, a book, a course, a training program, what does it solve? If you're a coach, what does that mean for them? Does it mean they're going to get accountability? Does that mean that they're going to be able to ask questions at any time? Does it mean they're going to finally get over the hump? What problem does it solve? What pain point does it solve? You need to be very intimate about the problem you're solving, because if you can't describe the problem to your audience, then they're going to not feel like you empathize with them. They're not going to feel like you have the solution. If you don't understand the problem, they're not going to feel like you have the solution. So make sure that you understand the problem and you describe to your audience, hey, this is what this product solves. This is the problem it solves, right? Again, remember, at the end, I'm going to be giving an offer of Webinar Ninja so you can see me putting this into action. What does it solve? How does it solve it with minimal pain? Okay, now it's not enough for people to be like, okay, great, you have something to help me out. You have a course that's going to show me how to learn how to snowboard. Great. I'm still not convinced, because I don't want to go through too much to solve this pain. It's painful as it is, right? So this is why it's important for you to, when you're defining your offer, when you're talking about your products or service, you have to make sure that you understand how you're going to help them so it's not too much trouble for them, okay? Whether it's time-bound, like you're going to learn how to snowboard in a week, or if it's you're not gonna, have bumps and bruises, because we're gonna go on the bunny slopes, whatever it is, you're gonna make sure that you're gonna solve the problem for them with minimal pain, with minimal effort, with minimal issues, okay? Because that's what they're looking for. They're not only looking to solve the pain, but they don't want to have to go through hell to figure it out, right? What's the investment? How much they're gonna have to pay for this, right? And when I say pay, it's not only money, it's also time, it's also attention. Right? Make sure they understand, like, hey, how long is it going to take for them to get results? How much money they're going to have to invest to make this happen? Now, I say investment because you have to see your offer as an investment, right? Because if you don't, they're not going to get the next point, which is, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? You have to make it super clear, even if you're not in the business industry, even if I'm in the health and fitness industry, right? They need to understand, if I'm going to pay you money, if I'm going to spend time, what's the return I'm going to get? What's in it for me? All right, and this needs to be super clear. So see all these questions I have here, and then why buy now? Okay, why buy now? This is important, because if you're around all the time, why should I buy from you right now on the webinar? What's the incentive? And you have to incentivize them to buy right now, okay? Whether it's a special offer, whether it's a special bonus, whether it's some sort of thing they're going to get that they won't get later, whatever it is, whether it's a way for them to get in without having a huge investment, whatever it is, you have to make sure that there's a reason to buy now. Why does Macy's run a one-day sale every Wednesday? Why? They're just giving you a reason to buy now. That's it. Certain items are on sale. I want to get you in the store, right? They're giving you a reason to buy now. That's it. So all these questions, my advice to you is to write them down in your notebook, in your notepad, right? And make sure you have an answer to each one. This is how you're going to define your offer. The answers to each of these questions is defining your offer. This is the first step. This is going to be the most important part, because you're going to get crystal clear on, like, this is really what I give my customers. This is really why people are on my webinar. This is really why people are interested in what I have to offer. And if I'm clear on it, it's going to be so much easier for me to deliver it. Okay? So make sure you have an answer to each of these questions. That's your first step. Okay? Step 2, ready to go. Create an objections strategy. Okay, like I said, people have objections in their head. People are going to ask questions maybe on the webinar. You need to have an answer to all those objections. Okay, and I'm going to give you the most common objections that you're going to be faced with from your customers during an offer of a webinar, whether it's in their head or whether they're going to express it verbally on text or whatever. Number 1 is price, right? Your services cost too much. And this is just an example of an objection. Your services cost too much. I can get the same service from someone cheaper. Okay. This is the number one thing people are worried about, like an objection, like I don't know if I should buy this because maybe I can get it somewhere else. It's cheaper. I can do this myself. All that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, before I move into the next one, the easiest way to solve this objection, right? Even before they have it, even before they even think about it, is that the only reason why somebody has an objection of price is because they don't feel or they don't see that the value outweighs the price. They don't see the value outweighs the price. Let me give you an example. If I go into a convenience store and I see a Snickers bar for 50 cents, right? I'm going to be like, whoa, that Snickers bar is going to feel so good. It's so worth the 50 cents, right? Because I automatically see the value. But if the Snicker bar was $10, I'm be like, no way, forget that. I'm not going to spend $10 for Snickers. It's just not that much value to me, right? So you have to explain to people. A lot of people don't know everything about your product. They don't know what they're going to get out of it. They don't know the return on investment. Remember when I talked about defining the offer? So as long as you show that the value outweighs the price, they're not going to have this objection. They're going to be like, it's actually pretty good. They might have other objections. We'll talk about that. Like if I look at like a Tesla, for example, it's an expensive car, but I can't object that it's expensive. $35,000 for a Model 3. It's a great car. It's amazing. It's going to save me on gas. It's so fast. It's so beautiful. It's got so much technology. That's a pretty good price. $35,000. Other cars are more expensive. So price is not an objection here because the value is perceived super high. So you need to make sure that the value is perceived for your audience is there. And how do you do that? You make sure you understand their pain point and you show them how you can solve it, right? And you show that return on investment. Make sure that your value is displayed. Next objection is complacency. I'm okay with the way things are working right now. I love webinars. I'm just giving my example. I love webinars. It sounds great. But you know what? Things are okay with me. Maybe I'll do this later on, right? You need to show people why complacency just isn't an option, okay? And one of the easiest ways to show that is to say, what's going to happen if you don't do this, okay? The answer is, in my case, if people don't do webinars, if you don't do webinars to sell your products, do you think your competition is going to be complacent? No. You're going to get eaten alive, right? That's just the reality of the marketplace, right? As soon as you get complacent, as soon as you get comfortable, as soon as you start feeling like you don't have to do anything, that's when other people are going to say, I'm going to do everything I can to get the market share. I'm going to get everything I can to make more sales, right? And that's how your competition can override you or overtake you. So complacency can easily be solved or be addressed as an objection if you show them the other side. Hey, what happens if you don't take this course on how to improve your health and your health? Well, you're not going to be able to enjoy your golden years. You're not going to be able to travel the world when you have the time, right? You're not going to be able to do the things you always wanted to do when you get older, all that kind of stuff. You have to show them the other, what complacency is going to cost them, okay? And that's really very important because it's a common objection. Next thing is overwhelm. I'm not sure I can do this. I'm a beginner. Very, very a common objection. And this is why it's so important that you have to show them how they can get started and get a win quickly. This is how you address it. So when you're giving your offer, it's not only important for you to show your great product and it's a great service, but sometimes we overwhelm our customers with all these features and all these great bonuses and all these things like, wow, this is great. And all this information and 3,000 videos in the course and wow, but I don't know if I have time to do this. I don't know if I could do this. This is so much, right? So you need to show them, but by the way, there's a lot of value here. But if you're just getting started, we have a module called orientation. We have a module called a beginner's course, and it takes you step by step. You have to show them how they can get a quick win quickly, how to get started quickly, right? This is how easy it is for you to create your first webinar. This is how easy it is for you to go down your first mountain on a snowboard. You have to show them that first step and what they're going to do first as they get started, as soon as they sign up, right? So to cure overwhelm, you have to show them how they can get that first win as soon as possible, okay? So make sure you do that because a lot of people are like, well, how do I get started? This all sounds great, but where do I start with all this information? Well, you have to show them, hey, don't get overwhelmed. This is what you're going to do to get started. And you can even give examples. Last week we had a new member. This is what they did. They took this first module and they were able to do this. It's not the end all be all goal, right? But they progressed, and that's enough for somebody who's feeling overwhelmed. Okay. Next objection, external input. I need to run this by my business partner before I do anything else. I need to run this by somebody else, right? And they're not able to buy something. And this is a valid concern, no question about it. But what you need to do in your offer is offer some sort of risk reversal. This will cure this, objection, because if you have a way to say, hey, we have a free trial where we're not charging you anything, or you have a money back guarantee where it's like, hey, you can get a refund if you in 30 days or whatever it is, if your business partner is not happy with this decision. And you're going to see that we're going to make a compelling offer. It's like, hey, you got to buy now because you're going to get these things if you buy now. At least you're going to lock in that offer. And then if you don't like it, you can cancel the trial or you can refund. So this is a good way to cure this objection, is to make sure that you have a way for them to have some sort of risk reversal. Like this is not like they're signing on a contract that's going to lock them in for 3 years of paying, thousands of dollars. No, there's a way for you to get out of this if you need to. Okay. And making a decision is not like do or die here. Okay. And lastly is timing. It's too much for me to take right now. I'm too busy, right? A lot of people are like, I got no time to do this. I got so much on my plate, blah, blah, blah. Right. And this is a very universal objection. And it's very important for you in your offer to mention the fact that the best time to do anything is when it's fresh in your head, when you have momentum. Momentum is so powerful. Right now, you guys are learning about webinars, you're learning about sales right now. And to be quite honest with you, there's no better time for you to start doing webinars than right after this webinar, because it's fresh in your head. You have some sort of momentum right now. You can create your first webinar in the first 10 minutes after this webinar, and you're ready to go. And now you have your webinar ready to go. You have it scheduled, right? It's never going to be a perfect time. You're always going to be busy. If you're not busy, you're a retiree, right? And you're not a retiree, right? You're just lounging on a beach all day, on a trust fund. No, that's not most of us, I think. But the point here is that it's never going to be a good time. And you need to stress the fact that momentum is powerful. And it's true. It's so powerful, right? When is a good time to learn how to snowboard? When I'm on why they give lessons on the slope. I'm there now. I got the equipment, everything. I've invested all the time and money to come to the ski resort. I got to learn how to snowboard now, right? So you have the momentum, and stress that with your audience. Hey, we've learned a lot in this workshop. Let's implement. Let's take this to the next level. Let's capitalize on what we learned and not just let it just float in the air, right? Let's make it happen. So these are the most common objections. Step 3, design your sales transition. How do we transition from the workshop to the offer, right? We're teaching a topic. Like we're saying, hey, I'm going to give you how to start standing on a snowboard, how to get down the hill, blah, 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 right? This is the workshop. But then I want to transition and tell you, hey, I got this great course that's going to teach you how to become, a intermediate snowboarder in, 12 days or whatever it is, right? So what you do here is that you have to make sure that your offer and your workshop are congruent. They have to be congruent, meaning that you have to show them how, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff. But if you want to do it faster, if you want to do it easier, that's where my product or service comes in, right? You got to show them, hey, you could, and this is absolutely transparent and true. But you have to make sure that you have to make it clear that, hey, what I'm giving you in the workshop is valuable. You could take it and you could do it. But if you want a faster way to do this, and faster could be, hey, you're going to get mentorship. You're going to get customer support. You're going to get some sort of mastermind group, whatever it is, that's going to help them in some way than opposed to being alone, opposed to trying to do this on their own, right? So make sure that you show them you're working on it. Hey guys, we just went through this workshop. You learn how to get down the hill with the snowboard. I've instructed you how to do this, But if you want to take things to the next level, if you want to be able to do this faster, if you want to become intermediate quicker, if you want to be able to go down, blue slopes this winter, not next winter, you can check out my course. Let me show what it's all about. And that's when you jump into your demo. Right? That's an easy transition. Hey, I gave you value, but if you want more, if you love what you just saw, then you're going to really like what I'm going to give you. It's going to help you implement faster. The next thing is that a lot of people think sales is talking. It's not talking. It's showing them. It's demoing. It's showing them what they're going to get. Explaining. Try to see it as like a test drive, like when you're buying a car, right? You're making a decision based on how you envision yourself purchasing this product. Right. So you want to do that with them. So you're going to want to share your screen, even if it's a digital thing like a course, or if it's coaching, show testimonials, show the members area, show an example of the video, of the quality of your videos, whatever it is, make sure you show them as much as possible. And then you can easily answer questions afterwards to do the talking and sell there. So this is very important, this transition of showing them, hey, this is how I'm going to implement. Let me show you how you can do it faster with my course, with my product, with my service. Love it. Next, step 4, you're going to craft your sales offer script. And you're like, script? Wow, I'm going to read a script. You're not going to read a script on the webinar, okay? But it's important for you to know what you're going to say before you say it, okay? A lot of people are like, hey, I know my stuff, I'm good. It's not about you knowing your stuff. It's about you knowing how to deliver it, okay? And delivery matters when it comes to sales. It comes because when they're watching the webinar, they want to make sure they are clearly understand what they're getting and that you're addressing all their pain points. So what you want to do here is just write it for your own good, so you know what's going to happen, you know what the flow is, and it doesn't have to be long, okay? I love this quote by Donald Kelly, who runs a podcast called The Sales Evangelist. He says, if you have a product or service that can help someone, it's your obligation to tell them about it, right? So this is a good mindset to come from. If you have something that is helpful, that is going to help other people, right? You need to feel obliged. Hey, I got something that's going to take people to another level, that's going to help them feel better, that's going to improve their situation, whatever you're selling them, helping them with. Feel obliged to do it. It's like if somebody has a headache and you had an Advil, you would offer it to them, right? So make sure that you feel that way when you are in that sales offer mode. So you're going to script 100-word sales offer. 100 words are not long, right? It's not too long. And this is just rough. If it's 90, it's fine. But you want to include these things in what you actually say in your offer. And you're going to see me actually give an example of this when I make my offer, okay? The problem your offer solves. What does your product solve? What does your service solve, right? How does it solve it with minimal pain? How quickly can they get started? What is it gonna? How are you gonna help them without for them feeling like this is going to be really a long haul and this is going to be tough and this is going to be too expensive and all that kind of stuff, right? How are you going to solve this problem with minimal pain? State the investment. That means say your price, just like you say your name. My name is Omar, $200, right? A lot of people have to understand that when you don't feel confident about your price, people will feel it, right? And if you don't feel confident about your price, then you need to reevaluate your product. Right? You need to reevaluate, am I really giving enough value for this price? You should be convinced. You should be like, wow, this is really 10 times worth my product, right? My product's worth 10 times this price, sorry. Show them the return on investment. Show them what they're going to get when they invest. This is the results. This is what happens when you buy my product or service. This is what you're going to, these are the benefits you're going to reap, whether they're ongoing, whether they're one time. You need to make sure this is clear and give them a reason to buy now. And we'll talk about how to do that. You have to give them a reason, whether they're bonuses, whether they're some sort of discounts, whether it's some sort of sale you have, whatever it is, you have to give them a reason to buy now versus any other time, okay? So make sure your sales script includes these 5 things. And this is up to you. You can sit there and spend 20, 30 minutes writing this, an hour, up to you. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this poetry, right? You just have to know what you're going to say before you say it. That's it. Okay. Next, we're going to close with social proof. Okay. It's not enough for you to say that I have something awesome, that my product is great. Of course, you're biased. It's your product. You want to make some money, right? All right. But you have to actually show that it's not just me that says this. Okay. So here's an example. Okay. So this is Lauren Bartley. She's one of our users at Webinar Ninja. And I show social proof when I'm giving my offers. And I'll show you another example when I do my offer, where it's just a simple picture. This is what this person looks like. This is who they are. This is what they do. And this is what they say about my product. Not long. This is not a 5-paragraph thing, right? It's a short thing that encapsulates why she loves Webinar Ninja, right? This is why you would want to buy this, okay? Testimonials are very important because if they're crafted properly, they're going to allow your customer to see themselves in other customers. Okay. So in this example, she says, I used to hate running webinars because how long they took to set up and integrate with my landing pages and my CRM. Could somebody tell me in the chat what she's doing here in this testimonial? Why this testimonial is important? Because in my offer, I have to address pain, right? Right. I have to address what pain point she hates. Right. And then when you see that, you're like, I have that pain point. Right? What did she do with that pain? She says, switching to Webinar Ninja, I now spend minutes rather than hours setting up my webinars and the professional looking landing pages and email autoresponder sequences that go with them. Okay. So she says, okay, this is how it solved the pain. This is how it saved me time. She is also including a return on investment. And this is a lot easier for you to get credibility when somebody else is giving you a testimonial, okay? When somebody else is speaking on your behalf and cheerleading for you. Amir says, what are you selling? What if you're selling new and no testimonials? Good question, Amir. Amir, Emmer, I think it's Emmer. Sorry, Emmer. That's a good question. If it's a brand new product, you have a couple options. Number one, have you done anything professional before where you can get a testimonial on who you are, right? Emmer's the man. He's delivered on, this product or service he's done. He's a professional. He's on time. He is a man of his word. He's what he says, he does, all that kind of stuff. Get a professional testimonial from even like your boss at a job or a previous business or thing that you've had before. Somebody giving you a testimonial because you spoke on stage, whatever it is, a testimonial on who you are as a person. The other option is you can give somebody some sort of free access for a certain amount of time. Say, hey, I'm going to give you 30-day access to my course or 6 months access to my course or whatever it is, or a trial, whatever it is, and say, in exchange, if you love it, I'd love a testimonial, right? And then and I like to, when I ask for a testimonial, I ask to give them some questions to gear them in the right place so I can get this well-crafted testimonial. I say, what do you love about my product? What did you experience? What return on investment did you get when you purchased my product or experienced my product? That kind of questions, right? The questions that we had with our offer. Okay. So you can do that as well to get something from a new product. And also you'll get feedback about your product so you can improve it before it goes live. Hope that helps. All right, let's jump right in. So let's just to recap. This is to define your offer. You're going to create, step one is to define your offer. You're going to create an objection strategy for all the objections we talked about. We're going to talk about design your sales transition. We talked about how to go from, hey, I got something for you, great value workshop. But if you want to do it easier, if you want to do it faster, you got my product or service coming up with my offer. You're going to craft your sales offer script so you know exactly how you're going to say something. And then you're going to close with social proof, showing people, hey, it's not just me that says this, is other people that say that.